Morning. This is a video for Gina B. AHRENS design team for the month of October. And this month the prompts were build, generate, fabricate. And I'm in need of backgrounds for several different projects, some ATCs, some artist trading coins, and some cards. So I'm going to make what they call a master board. And you know, you slur those words together, they might sound like something else, but really I'm saying master board. Okay, so what I'm going to start off with is some downloads from GINA. These are her poured pull background sets. There's like an enormous amount in there, and I just pulled out the ones that kind of had a fall theme in my mind. I will probably be using different stamps from the her stamp sets. This is number 11, Brushes and Elements, and this one doesn't have a name on it. I think it's one of her earlier ones. But I picked it out because it has feathers on it, and I thought the feathers could be easily morphed into leaves. I have some dictionary paper, and I have a couple of different napkins with leaves on them. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to use. I don't ever know. But I'm just going to start playing, and then we'll see where it takes us. Okay. So this is an 11 by 15 sheet of watercolor paper, and I start off by gluing some torn pieces of dictionary page on it, and then just tearing up bits and pieces of those acrylic pours that I downloaded from GINA's website. And I did want to talk to you about you don't have to do a massive one like this. A small board, even on I'm calling it a board, but it could be on any kind of paper, mixed media paper. It could be on photocopy paper if you're not if you're going to use like a dry glue and not no wet mediums on it. But I've done one on mixed media paper, and it took didn't soak it with the matte medium, but it did work out quite well. And it's lighter than this. When this is done and it's got several layers and some paint, it's quite thick and very sturdy. So I mean for some things that's great, but if you think you're going to use it like maybe just use it for cards or something, you might want a thinner paper, but that'll be something you could experiment with for sure. Yeah, so I'm just gluing down paper, and which it's like fascinating, I'm sure, but it's one of the things I'm working on personally is that I realize that I'm kind of spooked by dark colors, so I tend not to have like dark colors here, but I tried not to be scared of those things with this, and put some really dark greens down, and decided that I would not. I was tempted at some point to kind of color over them and damp them back, but I decided not to, and see if I could just like them the way they were. Now here I'm taking a brayer with some gold colored craft paint, just the kind you can buy in the dollar store, nothing fancy, and I'm just braying it over. And honestly, I was not too pleased with it when it went on, and I thought, that's kind of not what I thought it would do. But you know, it turned out that it was not a bad thing in the end. Um, and then I decide that I'm going to put some other kinds of I think I'm going to do some stencil work at this point. And yeah, oh yeah, there's my leaf stencil, which is one of my all-time favorite stencils. I can't tell you how often I use it. And sometimes I just stencil on a whole page just to that stuff, just to play with paint. So I put some gold and some red and some yellows in there. But before I just do that, I do some stamping with GINA's scribble stamp in that set that I showed you at the beginning. And then I think I put one of those larger feathers on there that I think, you know, works as a leaf shape. I am sticking down pieces that I didn't stick down properly, you know, which is always what often happens. I mean, at least to me. I don't know about other people, but I find I've left like little edges off. I'm using sepia ink color, Arranger archival ink. And I was really pleased with how those showed up. They're kind of ghostly and delicate. And then there are little bits and pieces that are of that board that are really pretty. You'll see one in the ATCs at the end. So one of the things I like to do with an open stencil like this is to try to mix colors together while I'm doing it, so that I'm getting you know, more texture and variety than a solid color. So I have kind of an orange yellow, what's it called? Cadmium yellow, deep, and some dark red. It's the red is just craft store red, and it's Christmas red. They're saying. I don't know what that means. And the gold, and the gold is the PBO luminous. Luminous? That's not what they call it, Laura. They call it iridescent. There, that's the word. Okay. So yeah, so I'm just stenciling over this again, and I think the only piece that I didn't film is that at some point I put some more of that cadmium yellow deep in the background to blend in that, take away that white that's left behind. So yeah, I'm just picking up more than one color on the sponge, sometimes all three colors, and kind of blending them together. And every time I pop back into a paint color, I get a different color on the sponge, and then a different color on the leaf. And then if I say, well, you know, I'm going to look a little more red here or a little more yellow, I can go back in and do it again. So here it is finished, and the iridescent gold is really shows up really nicely. And if you stick around, you'll be able to see what I did with this board. I have some photographs at the end of the video. And I hope you enjoyed watching this, and that you can find the links to GINA's Etsy store in the description box below, as well as a coupon for her products. And the design team is full of wonderful people. One of the things I really enjoy doing is going and watching everybody else's videos, because everybody's got a different take on it. Everybody's had a lot of fun doing stuff, and it should be interesting to see what they've done. So as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave me a comment so I know you're here, and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I'm always looking for new subscribers. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see ya.